And I'm going to be very honest in this moment and tell you that I did not use a Green Beauty brand mascara because I didn't know how how late her night was going to be, how much, you know, she might have teared up, she might have had a, you know, laughing until she cried kind of evening. And so I went with my old favorite, which is CoverGirl Lash Blast in Very Black, because I can make your lashes look like they are falsies without adding any fake lashes. So, you know, I wish that there was a Green Beauty option that could do this for me, and I've shown you many other, or, you know, videos where I say, okay, this is a great Green Beauty mascara, but sometimes on the red carpet and oftentimes for, you know, fun, funky editorials, especially that I used to do years ago in New York, I would, I just can't use Green Beauty products, you know, by and large, because they don't have the same long lasting ability if somebody's under crazy hot lights, if they need amazing coverage. There's a lot of barriers still. So just so you know, there are times when you'll see stuff that, again, just like with my clients who have contracts, I may not tell you exactly what I used, because 95% of the time I will only share information about Green Beauty brands. In this video, I wanted to be fully transparent and also take away some of the shame and stigma that a lot of people have written to me that they feel about using products that are not in the Green Beauty market. And listen, products are developing and brands are really pushing the envelope and have done so much so far. And so if you find that one of the products, you know, you're like hot neon whatever eyeshadow, you can't find a Green Beauty swap for it, okay, use that eyeshadow. I'm not going to come down on you for it. Okay, so eyes are done. Remember how I told you I take some of this to take off the excess oil. So now, by now, face oil has absorbed all that it's going to. So I wrap it around a beauty blender, and the areas where you're more likely to be shiny are generally right here. And that's an area that I hate seeing shine on my clients. I'm like, no. And then forehead. I like a little bit of shine for sure, but that's about it. Okay, so that was a dry beauty blender. As you know, I always use a completely saturated with water beauty blender, and then I wring it out in a towel. So that's what's happened here. And I am going to pull this lovely, it's called Photopigments Flawless. I call it their serum foundation, and it's from Juice Beauty. And I'm using number 14 on myself. And I just gave myself 2 little pumps, and I'm going to use this brush that I like from RMS. And I also have the beauty blender in my hand. Everyone does foundation differently. You can do it however you want, but this is my method. I remember when I used to assist Fashion Week many moons ago, and it was always fun to see how other makeup artists did things. And then you just develop your own technique and, you know, what works for you. I never saw anybody do eyes first, but I always thought, like, wow, I'm like an absolute all thumbs kind of makeup artist. Like I touch the face all over the place. I can't do skin first. And no one seems to care one way or the other how you do it, as long as you make them look great. So hopefully I accomplished that. So you saw 2 little pumps really went a long way. I love this foundation. I use it all the time. If you use Armani Luminous Silk and you want to find something else, unfortunately, so the only drawback is that the color line, as in how many foundation options for different skin tones there are, it's not quite as extensive as the Armani Luminous Silk, but the texture, it's very, very similar. And the finish that it leaves on the skin, I mean. So, places to always focus on for foundation. You've read this probably before. Around the nose, because most of us have some broken blood vessels, right? You always want to make sure whatever you put here is the same color as on the neck. Lily had just been on a holiday, as they call it, in England, and she had a bit of a tan, quite a bit of a tan on her body, but not on her face. So that's one of the reasons why I ended up giving her such a bronzy look, because I wanted to match the skin on her body. So there we go with that. And then I'll use another cotton swab just to move that around where I want it. And then put a little bit of mascara on the bottom lashes. Often on bottom lashes I'll use a little flat line brush for mascara, but I wanted it to be a little bit more obvious with this look, have her lashes kind of stand out. So I just went straight from the tube. And you see how pretty, fluttery. I cannot believe how long this video is taking. How many of you have I lost? It's 20 minutes in. I like a lot of mascara. It's almost always the way I go. Sometimes I've had clients who have not been as into a lot of mascara, and so the look, I have to figure out how to make their eyes stand out without a ton of mascara, which is a completely different kind of eye makeup standout look. And you can accomplish that with a variety of ways. You can do a cut crease. You can do a really intense lash line with a liner. Okay, so now it looks like I need a little bit of concealer. That comes at this point. So I'm using this one from Ilia. This is C2 is my color. And I'm just going to take a small brush. I don't know who, this is from Jane Iredale. Sorry, I do know who it is. A little bit under the eyes. Now, concealer, I should say this. For most people, concealer should only go right here, because the more concealer you put on, no matter what brand, unless you're going outside of the green brands, you're going to see some creasing. People write to me, what's the one concealer that doesn't crease? I'm sorry, that they all crease. There's some ingredients that are missing that we know we're safer, we're better off without, that at this point we don't have duplicates for or anything to substitute. So we want to keep whatever product we're using out of parts of us that are going to potentially crease later. So that's why I often will keep shadows beneath the crease to keep them from settling into that fine line. So that's why you see me do a lot of lash line work instead of cut crease, because I do favor cream shadows over powder, and it's really way easier to keep things from settling if you don't put them in places where they can settle. Okay, so then I'm going to use this product also from Juice Beauty. They just came out with these Phyto Juice pigments. You need a teeny amount. So this is, for me, the awesome bronzer. It dries down really fast, so sometimes it takes you getting used to how a product works. And this one, it took me a bit, and I actually had some back and forth with the creators saying, like, I don't think I can use this, and they taught me. So it is a really good product. And I'm using this brush from Gressa. That's a nice flat brush that will pick it up nicely and then lay it down well. So I gave her a pretty intense bronzy crease on the brain, cheek. And you can see how that little bit really does give a little bit of a contour effect that helps to make a face a little more angled. So, teeny little bit again. So one easy way, if you've never done this on yourself before, to know where to put it is look in the mirror. Sorry, I should look at the lens. Look in the mirror. Do like this. And that's where you want the depth to be. So we're trying to make our cheekbones look higher. We put it underneath.